Hello, welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am Stevie B. Happy to have you all with me today as I am here on Arcadia Moon. We have a lot to cover, so let's take some big sips to get us started off right. So I'm taking a break from the Siren series to come over and see Arcadia Moon. There's been a lot going on over here, a lot of updates. The Arcadia development team has done a great job making a lot of much needed changes, and I wanted to come get this information recorded and out to you guys as soon as possible. So guys, we'll go through all the changes and information you need to know, and then if you will stick with me till the end of the video, I will tell you guys how you can save 6 to 12 months worth of effort and several hundred, if not thousand, PED worth of effort. So stick with me to the end of the video to find out all that great information. So I made a couple of videos about 2 months ago now covering the new changes on Arcadia Moon related to the Smuggler Genetics Lab. Now the Smuggler Genetics Lab is the new instance located here on Arcadia Moon, where once you get in, you can start looting plates and upgrade parts to get upgraded lunar armor plates. This is the Arcadia version of the armor plate upgrade mission that we see across various planet partners. So this has been a bit of an issue from when it was very first created, and I covered why in the first two videos I made. So the Arcadia development team came up with this great system where at Arcadia Celeste Quarry, Planetside Arcadia at Celeste Quarry, in Arcadia Underground, and here on the moon at Gamma Portal, we have two NPCs at each location, a mysterious traveler who gives us missions, and a mysterious merchant who gives us blueprints. Now the way it works is you go to the mysterious merchant, and that NPC gives you a hunting mission, a mining mission, and a crafting mission. You do those missions, you get insignias. Then you trade the insignias to the mysterious merchant for blueprints. And the reason you want these blueprints is these blueprints allow you to do a crafting chain that hopefully ends up with you crafting a Pure Particle Sample MK4. The Pure Particle Sample MK4 is what you need to actually unlock the Smuggler Genetics Lab to be able to get inside. Now there's also an MK5 particle sample blueprint and a complete particle sample blueprint that come into play later on, because whenever you go to upgrade the lunar plates, once you have access, get inside and loot everything you need to actually be able to upgrade a plate, you will need the complete particle sample. But just to get into the instance, just to unlock it, you need the Pure Particle Sample MK4. Now, why is this a problem? Well, in order to do this, it is a crafting chain. You start with a raw particle sample blueprint, you craft it, and then you use those raw particle samples as an input to craft flimsy particle samples. Then you use the flimsy particle samples to create another particle sample, so on and so forth throughout the chain until you get to the MK1, where you craft an MK1. The MK1 is used as an input to craft the MK2. The MK2 is used to craft the MK3, and the MK3 is used to craft the MK4, which is the one that you really need to get access. Then, like I said later on, once you get to actually upgrading the plates, you need to use the MK4 to craft an MK5 and the MK5 to craft a complete particle sample blueprint for the upgrade process. So here's the problem. When they very first created these new insignias and these new blueprints and this crafting chain, the problem is that you could only get everything up to the MK1 blueprint from the mysterious merchant NPC. You could not actually trade insignias for the blueprints for the MK1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 blueprint, or for the complete particle sample blueprint. You had to loot those blueprints from crafting other things on Arcadia. And the problem is, these were rare drops. Very, very rare drops. The blueprints alone were selling for a substantial amount of money. And the bigger problem is it's a crafting chain. So you have to stack a whole lot of each of those blueprints before you even ever start. You cannot craft a single raw particle sample and then try and craft flimsy particle samples, because you'll get near successes and failures. You cannot risk getting the majority of the way through the chain and then failing anywhere short of that Pure Particle Sample MK4. So what this means is, A, you had the problem of you had to do all these missions, get a lot of these insignias, and stack a whole bunch of these blueprints, and do it in an insane amount, an insane quantity, so that when you sat down to craft, you didn't end up getting stuck. In fact, you would want to start crafting, and if you got anywhere near running out of materials to move on to the next step, you would just stop and keep stacking blueprints until you could go back and start over and make sure that you had plenty of quantity before moving on to try and craft the next step in the process. And the biggest problem, like I said, was those MK1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and complete particle sample blueprints had to be looted. You could not just get them from the same NPC. In the last video I made, I said the reason I'm not really working on this at the moment is there's very, very, very few people who have been able to grind this out and do it. And those that have spent thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of PED just to be able to create that MK4 particle sample to get access. I'm not willing to do that. The Arcadia development team will fix this at some point in the next 6 to 12 months. Well, it only took them about 2 months. So luckily now, when you go to the Mysterious Merchant, they have all of the blueprints available, from the raw particle sample at the low end, all the way through the MK1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even the complete particle sample blueprints at the high end, which we will check all those out here in just a second. Now, as far as the Mysterious Traveler and the missions, the good news is you don't actually have to pick between Planet Side at Celeste Quarry and Underground and here on Arcadia Moon. You can actually do all of the missions every single day. You don't just have to pick one. So I could do the hunting, mining, and crafting mission here on the moon. Then I could drop down to Celeste Quarry Planet Side and I could do the hunting, mining, and crafting mission there. And then I could even go into the underground and do the hunting, mining, and crafting mission there. I could knock out 9 dailies in one day if I really wanted to. And there's a lot of people that are currently doing that, and that's not a bad idea if you're going to be spending a lot of time on Planet Arcadia or on Arcadia Moon. And if you're in the instance, remember you're going to need complete particle samples to upgrade your plates. So it's a good idea, since the instance is located here on the moon, even if you don't drop Planet Side and do the ones at Celeste Quarry and in the underground, pop out of the instance and just do the ones that you can do here on the moon every single day to collect your insignias and collect your blueprints, so that whenever you get ready to upgrade your plates, you're ahead of the game. You don't have to then spend a whole lot of time trying to get everything together. You've kind of double dipped. You hopped out of the instance for 20, 30 minutes a day, knocked out some stuff, grabbed some insignias, stocked up on some blueprints, and now you're well ahead of the curve when it comes to trying to craft your complete particle samples. So in addition, let's recap the missions. Whenever you get your hunting mission, you get the option of a couple different options depending on where you are. There's an easy option, a medium option, and a hard option. Obviously, the harder the hunting mission, the more insignias you're going to get. Whenever it comes to crafting, it's similar. There's going to be a couple different options depending on which option you pick for your crafting mission. Then there's a different number of insignias available. And then when it comes to mining, the mining mission really seems to be a pain in the butt, because you have to pick a particular resource you're looking for. Now, when you're out mining, you're not going to find just that resource. You're going to find a mix of resources, but you have to pick one particular resource that will count toward the mission. And the more valuable, the harder to find, the more rare that resource is, obviously the more insignias you will get if you're able to complete the mission. So I went with the easy one. I picked Ospra ingots, or Ospra ore, I should say, because Ospra is very plentiful on Arcadia, so I'll be able to mine it up fairly easily, and I'll be able to complete that mission fairly easily. I'll just get fewer insignias for doing it. So that one, the mining part, that's the one everybody's like, man, this is kind of hard, because it has to be specific to the one type of material, the one type of resource that you pick to find while mining. So in this update, where they've added all the blueprints, which they should have done from the very beginning, to the Mysterious Merchant, now that they have corrected that problem, they've actually done us a solid. They've created 2 additional missions. There is a complete 7 dailies weekly mission, where if you can complete 7 daily missions in 1 week, you will get extra rewards, extra insignias. And it looks like it will allow you to do this on Arcadia Planet Side at the quarry, underground, and here on the moon. In fact, if I pull it up, let me see. So this is the crafting one that I picked. I'm currently working on the hunting daily, but it essentially lists all 9 different ones for this new weekly 7-day challenge, where it's got the, here we go, right here, 7 complete dailies. So if I track it, you'll notice it's got the hunting, mining, crafting for planet side, hunting, mining, crafting for the underground, hunting, mining, crafting for the moon. So I would actually have to pretty much do the hunting and crafting in all 3 locations, and then I would have to do the mining mission at least one time completely through, either planet side, in the underground, or the moon. But if I could do that, if I could knock out 7 of these 9 in a week, then I complete this additional weekly mission for extra insignias. There's also a complementary mission of 25 mining globals in a week. So it would not be hard to throw a mining amplifier on your mining finder, and as you're out doing that mining mission, get 25 globals in the process, 50 pet or bigger, and then you get extra insignias for that. So by doing these 2 additional weekly missions with your dailies on the moon, in the underground, and planet side at Solis Quarry, you're going to be able to collect insignias far, far faster, which means you're going to be able to stack those blueprints far, far quicker. Now, all of that being said, that's all good and dandy. That's all great. I think that these are some great changes. All the blueprints should have been available in the Mysterious Merchant NPC at all 3 locations from the start. We should have never had that issue. I think it's great that they've added these 2 specific weekly missions, given how difficult and challenging the mining mission can be, since you have to find one particular resource. But there's something additional that you guys need to know. When you get your hands on the Pure Particle Sample MK4, it unlocks the instance for you. You only have to do that one time. Once you do that, you never, ever, 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 ever have to do it again. Now, after you unlock the mission by handing in that Pure Particle Sample MK4, there is a catch to this instance, and that is you have to pay an entry fee every time you go into the instance. But there are 2 different options. There is the option for players who have not completed the Smuggler chain on planet Arcadia, and there's an option for people who have completed the Smuggler mission chain on planet Arcadia. If you are a smuggler and have already completed the Smuggler chain on planet Arcadia, it is going to be far, far, far cheaper to pay your entry fee every time you go into the instance than it is going to be if you're a non-smuggler. So if this is an instance you're going to be doing, if you're going to want to get your hands on one of these Pure Particle Sample MK4s to get in, and if you're going to want to go in repetitively and get the plates and the upgrade parts and work your way through the insignias and the dailies and stacking the blueprints to make complete particle samples, and you're going to try and upgrade the plates, that's all good and dandy. You're going to want to be a smuggler before you ever get started inside that instance. It will save you a ton of money long term by being a smuggler and paying the smaller entry fee every time you go in. Now, one really big kudo to the Arcadia development team, on top of all the other kudos I've already given them in this video alone, it seems, from rumor, from what I've been told from reliable sources, I've not been able to personally verify this, but the people who have told me this, their information is worth its weight in gold. The Arcadia development team has apparently added unlimited Aquila armor to the loot pool inside the Smuggler Genetics Lab instance. So in addition to going in there and getting your armor plates and your upgrade parts and working on your codex for a brand new mob, you also have a chance at some very rare, very valuable unlimited Aquila armor, which is great. I think it's wonderful that they added that to the loot pool. So there are a lot of people who would love to be in this instance, but just have not been able to grind out enough insignias and stack up enough blueprints and lose enough ped crafting to try and craft that Pure Particle Sample MK4. So let me tell you what you can do. Do you want to save 6 to 12 months and be able to get access to this instance right away? Would you like to save hundreds, if not thousands of ped, instead of trying to craft your own Particle Sample MK4 and taking a chance on losing hundreds, if not thousands of ped going through that crafting chain? Well, I'm going to tell you how. So I'm actually going to teleport back and I'm going to go get my insignia, and I will actually show you guys all the blueprints inside the mysterious merchant. But as I do, I want to be sure you guys can see this. This is my good friend Anonymous Arcadia Anonymous. Anonymous Arcadia Anonymous. Now, he is available in the user register. You can send him a private message. He has these Pure Particle Sample MK4s available for sale. You're probably looking somewhere in the area of about 500 ped. That's 50 bucks. Now, let me put this into perspective. You pay him roughly 50 bucks. You'll have to get with him to find out the exact price. He gives you the Pure Particle Sample MK4 that you need to get access. You turn it in, bada bing, bada boom, the Smuggler Genetics Lab is now unlocked. Now, it's your choice. You can pay the higher fee to go in as a non-smuggler, or you can go through the smuggler chain on Arcadia, become a smuggler, and pay the lower entry fee. But you only have to turn in that Pure Particle Sample MK4 blueprint one time. Or not the blueprint, the actual particle sample one time. So it is a one-time cost to unlock the instance. Again, that's Anonymous Arcadia Anonymous. Now, by my estimates, that is probably going to save most players 6 to 12 months worth of effort. 6 to 12 months of doing these daily hunting, crafting, and mining missions to get the insignias, to then stack up enough blueprints to even attempt to craft one of these Pure Particle Sample MK4s. Now, also keep in mind that when you craft the Pure Particle Sample MK4, you're crafting an entire chain. And crafting can get quite pricey, especially when you're going through an entire chain that you have to craft to get to the end item that you turn in. You could easily lose 500 to 1,000 ped just trying to craft your own. If I handed you a giant stack of all the blueprints you needed, if I handed you 1,000 potential clicks of every one of the blueprints and said, here, you've got 1,000 clicks of each blueprint from the first step all the way through the MK4 Pure Particle Sample, go have fun crafting it, you could easily drop 500 to 1,000 ped and still not have a Pure Particle Sample MK4. Still not be able to get into the Smuggler Genetics Lab. Now, this is Entropia universe where time is money. So you're telling me that you can get with Arcadia right now, and for the low price of about 500 ped, about 50 bucks, you can save 6 to 12 months worth of effort grinding out all these daily and weekly missions for insignias and stacking the blueprints. Not to mention the amount of money you're going to save not having to try and craft the entire blueprint chain. That is a tremendous, tremendous value. So why have I not done that? Why have I not already given him 500 ped and just grabbed the Pure Particle Sample MK4 and got access to the instance? Well, I have this wonderful thing called YouTube where it allows me to do this thing called sales. And I'm hoping that if enough of you guys are interested in this Smuggler Genetics Lab instance, that enough of you see the value in saving 6 to 12 months and saving all that money in having to not even bother trying to craft one, that I might just get one handed to me, get access to the instance, and then I can make even more content about the instance for you guys. I can make content about the smuggler mission chain, about the price difference between smugglers and non-smugglers, about everything regarding the instance and how the instance works. And I can do that all firsthand and show it to you. And lucky me, it's just a side benefit of putting in all of these hours upon hours upon hours that I really don't get compensated for. Now, that might not happen. I might end up doing these missions for the next 6 to 12 months, saving the insignias, turning them in, and then stacking the blueprints, and then actually crafting a Pure Particle Sample MK4 myself before ever getting access. That's very possible, and that could be my reality. But this is a great opportunity for you guys. Whether I get in or not, this is a great opportunity for y'all. So, I'm coming back over here. I've done my hunting mission for the day. I already got my insignia. It was automatically handed to me in my loot. Where's my insignia? Right here. Here's my insignia. So that's my insignia. I got that from the Mysterious Traveler. He's the one that gives out the actual missions. And notice that it updated my weekly 7 dailies mission. So if we go to my weekly 7 dailies mission, we see that I have completed the Arcadia moon hunting mission. So now I've got to try and complete 6 of the other missions. Now, I can do this hunting mission again tomorrow for another Insignia, but it only counts 1 time for this weekly 7 complete dailies. So now I can go to the Mysterious Merchant. I can click on Exchange Arcadia Daily Insignias, and we notice that now she's got all the blueprints we need, starting with the raw particle sample, going all the way through the chain, down to the MK4 that we need to get access to the instance itself, and then she's even got the MK5s and the complete particle sample blueprints, which we will need to finish the chain whenever we get ready to upgrade our armor plates. So we can now get all the blueprints from her. This solves the previous problem. And if you notice, it only cost us 1 daily insignia to get each of the blueprints up until we get to the part where previously they had to be looted. From the MK1 on, used to you have to loot them. Now you can get them here. So all the blueprints before this are only 1 insignia. This one is 5, the MK2 is 10, the MK3 is 20, the MK4 is 40 Arcadia Daily Insignias. And then if you want to go ahead, let's say you've already got access and you've already started saving to try and upgrade your plate, you need 80 insignias to get 5 clicks of the MK5 blueprint and 160 Arcadia Daily Insignias to get 5 clicks of the complete particle sample blueprint. But again, like I said, you have to stack these in massive stacks. I would probably need 10 to 20 of each one of these blueprints before I would even consider trying to click my way through it. And then who knows how much money I'm going to lose as I go through trying to create a single MK4 pure particle sample. So to get your hands on one right now and save all that cost in crafting, the 6 to 12 months of doing these dailies and saving up these insignias, that is an amazing, amazing value to be able to get in there and start grinding away right away. Like I said, bounce out every day, do a few of the missions, get the insignias, and keep stacking these blueprints because you're going to need them to get all the way to complete particle sample to upgrade your plates. But to be able to get in there right now, there is a tremendous value in that. And if you don't see the value in saving 6 to 12 months of time and all that money that you would lose crafting, then you're probably playing the wrong game. So if you guys are interested in the Pure Particle Sample MK4 and you want to get access right now, hit up Anonymous Accuracy Anonymous. Now, I did tell him I would be making this video. I told him you guys might be hitting him up. He only has 2, maybe 3 of these particle samples a week. However, bear with him, and if you're trying to get your hands on one, I'm sure he will have them for you sooner rather than later. So guys, this is a great mission chain, a great instance, a great armor plate upgrade set. This is going to be some of the best upgraded armor plates in game. I'm very excited to eventually get in there myself and start checking it out and grinding out the upgrade parts. For me, I've got so many other things going on right now. I don't have time to just camp out on Arcadia and on the moon and do this every single day. And there's a lot of players that don't. But once I do get in there, this is a great instance. I've already seen the inside of it. I've already talked to several people who have been in there, especially now that they fixed it where all the blueprints are available from the merchant and the Aquila armor is in the loot pool. This is a great, great, great instance, and I'm really glad that the Planet Arcadia team fixed so many issues with this mission chain and with these insignias and these blueprints in the instance so quickly. In my last video, I told you guys I thought it would get fixed sometime in the next 6 to 12 months. It got fixed in about 2 months flat. So big, big, big kudos to the Arcadia development team. So guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Head over to earnped.com because when you earn, we earn. Obviously, the best way you can support us. Simply use the links to go to hideout.tv. They'll automatically add us as a redemption option for your points. Guys, please continue to do as the banner says at the bottom of the screen. Click subscribe and the bell icon. You only have to do it once. It's free. That keeps you up to date with all the new content we post. All the new stuff going on in Entropia, events, changes, ways to earn, and play smarter, not harder. But guys, please also hit that bell icon. Help us defeat those trolls and those haters that are always out there stalking us. Just hit that like button on every single video, and you will be giving a giant blow to the haters and the trolls. But guys, more importantly, you deserve to know the impact you're having. You deserve to know that because of you guys supporting us by hitting the like button, by hitting the bell icon, by hitting subscribe, YouTube is showing our videos to more and more people it knows are into PC gaming. And we're getting emails every week. Hey, would you tell your subscribers the impact they're having? I'd never heard of Entropia, but I was messing around on YouTube, and I'm into PC games. And one of your videos popped up, and I watched it. Then I watched the channel, and now this is my hobby. Now it's my passion. Let me tell you about all the planets I've been to. Would you please tell them that they changed my life? I found Entropia simply because YouTube put it in front of me, because they hit those buttons. So guys, you're doing a tremendous job helping us to share this game, this hobby, this passion, this love that we have for Entropia with people who have never heard of it before, that are finding a love for Entropia for the very first time. And it's all because of you. I can make the videos all day long. It's you guys supporting me through hitting the like button, the bell icon, and the subscribe button. That's what gets us the exposure. So please keep it up and know that you're changing lives, sharing this game that we know and love. Guys, I'll be back with more for you later this week. Till then, sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Take care, Stevies.